James Taylor.
James Taylor. I would not have guessed that.
You don't listen to James Taylor?
I don't listen to James Taylor.
Wow.
It's like,
I
yeah, I know.
I didn't see that coming. You always catch me off guard with some of these.
You're surprised that I don't listen to this type of music? That's a surprising. That's interesting to me.
Why would I thought everybody listened to James Taylor.
Oh, man, I have a hard time. You are gonna be like, hey, what is wrong with you?
I mean,
like,
that one.
Easy, good time feeling music.
I didn't see that coming at all.
No, like
At all.
Yep.
Plus, it's probably not going to be long enough. But we have a lot to talk about today.
We sure do. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a good one.
Especially if you keep hitting the mic.
I will. I'm very professional. So.
That light is off.
Oh no.
Yes.
Take
Let me
one.
fix it.
Take two.
No, it's just the wrong color.
Oh. Oh, there we go.
You can't have too much cold light, and you can't have too much warm light.
It's gotta be a mixture.
Yes, just like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, you got to have the middle one.
Yeah. It has to be just right.
Just right.
Just right.
This one's just right.
This is about Savannah says, all right.
We're listening
all
to
right.
James Taylor. Everything's going to be all right.
Just an easy, peaceful feeling. That's what it feels like. Just like, cruising.
I feel like I got to turn it up because it's so good.
Oh, it's so good. I love it a lot.
I feel sarcasm in her comment, but I'm being serious. How do you not like James Taylor?
It's just, I love it. I do. I like him.
Uh-huh.
It's, I don't know what it is about that folksy stuff that just, gets me.
Or doesn't get you?
It just hits me weird. I'm like, listen to that breakdown.
But it's some of the greatest song lyrics of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's an incredible songwriter.
I mean,
And this is the epitome of singer-songwriter music.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
What are you gonna do? You listen to James Taylor. I just keep wanting to say Rick Taylor.
Rick James.
Rick James, Jesus. I'm so off today.
Well, welcome to Liz and the Purist.
Hello, welcome.
She's the Purist, I'm Liz.
Because I know James Taylor.
Today is about sitting on the dock of a bay
Yes.
in our favorite city in the country, Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, Savannah, Georgia.
Good old Savannah.
Down there on Tabby Island, I see that I'm at Nikki's. If you ain't at Nikki's, you ain't shit. Hell yeah. Exactly.
I bought the. I didn't buy that. They gave them out, and as soon as I saw it, I thought of you immediately. It was like, you need to use this one.
I do. Nikki's 1971 Bar and Grill in Tabby Island, Georgia.
Which mine is brought to you by your favorite restaurant, the Crab Shack.
Crab Shack. I used to walk past that
You
place.
begged me not to go, but I went to anyway. I tried.
I tried to get you to North Beach Grill.
I looked them up, and North Beach had nowhere near the quality of choices that Crab Shack had. It was just, it looked like it was too basic. It didn't have enough. It was like a sandwich shop to me, the way it looked, and with a little bit of shellfish, compared to the Crab Shack was like 10 different crabs and all this other stuff.
It's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I didn't even really see that it had the low country boil necessarily there, but I'm sure it did. But so we last minute changed it. We looked it up. We were there. We were gonna go.
So that backside of the
and I
beach?
looked up the menus and was like,
Not happening.
going to the shack.
And so the backside of the beach where the lighthouse is, at least
Yeah.
19.
I've been there before. I realized it that I did go there once randomly. I know where you're talking about.
The fort's there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fort Pulaski. Yeah, I remember walking the beach and going, oh, there's a restaurant here years ago, but I didn't do it this time.
I have memories tied there, so it's understandable. I mean, there's much better, I'm sure, touristy places. That's just like a little local
Well, but that's
joint.
the thing, too, about the Crab Shack is, although it's touristy, it has one hell of an atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beach.
Look, no, the trees growing into the place and everything like that.
Yeah, that's Savannah. That's
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I've never seen another restaurant that's perfect, so perfect to be like, no wonder it's so popular. The food was fantastic, but no wonder the atmosphere is so cool. Look at that. I mean, what else has a giant tree growing through your deck?
Savannah.
In a beautiful weather, beautiful day.
With Spanish moss hanging down and the chiggers jumping down on you and biting you.
There are no chiggers jumping down on you.
If there's Spanish moss, there's chiggers.
No, not in the city areas, like out in the countryside, yeah. But they've already like run. That's the same thing with like ticks. I don't get ticks near my house. I get ticks down in the wetland.
That's okay. Okay, I'll give it to you.
You know, like if I go out there, sure.
Oh,
look at that.
tiny island.
I know that marsh is beautiful. Look at that plate.
Yeah, that's some sorry food.
We got way too much food. I got a little too excited. It was really funny because we were looking through the menu and I saw the good old low country boil that I'm used to getting, but I knew that she wanted some crab. So they had this other one that was like a supreme boil. I forget how it said it. And so we asked about it and she was like, oh no, you get crayfish and mussels. And I went, I'll take that for 2. Like before she even finished,
yes.
I was like, that sounds great. I'll take that for 2. Not thinking that that's for 2.
That is for 2.
That is not for 2. That's for like 10 people.
I'd eat all of that. Like literally right now, I'm so hungry. I would eat all of that.
No way. We couldn't even get through half of it.
Oh god.
It was insane. I mean, I loved every second of it, but it was insane.
I will. Now we gotta go to Savannah together.
Yeah, because I need help with that.
I will show you how to eat that.
I mean, she did eat almost all the crab meat. I ate most of the crayfish. We both ate a ton of the mussels. And then here's the other point, too. We didn't even get to the shrimp. I think she tried 1 shrimp.
Okay. So I will leave the crawfish for you. We can have those.
Okay.
Push them your way. I'll down that shrimp like it's nothing. Mussels, they gone. Crab legs, don't even stand a chance. I'll eat the sausage as like a appetizer.
Well, that's what she was saying. Like, I kept eating some of the sausage, and she was like, I don't want to eat this. I want to eat all this other stuff. And I was like, I know.
What's on this side?
There's potatoes and then the corn on the cob.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So, like, this, yeah, yeah, we got this, Rick. You just gotta take care of those little mud bugs down there.
I love crayfish.
I don't mess with those dudes.
And she didn't know how to like crack a crayfish, so I had to sit there and show her how to crack one side, crack the tail off, pull.
Don't you suck?
No, I don't do that crap. I'm not insane. Yeah. But you know my diet. You've gone to many restaurants with me. Can you believe I ate any of that?
No, honestly, not at all.
This is the only place I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't resist. Like, I can't deny myself the Crab Shack because I know I can eat it.
Whenever we'd have family reunions, so like on your way into Tybee, you pass by the shrimp yards and stuff. Like when you're going down that road, we would stop off at the shrimp yards and buy shrimp straight from the shrimp boat.
Sure, because you actually were going to cook it there. Like I'm staying in a Airbnb.
Oh, obviously, yeah. No, you wouldn't want to do that. But that's how fresh. I mean, that's how fresh that food is.
That's the point.
Came off of a shrimp boat, like maybe a day or two ago.
Yeah, that's one of my big pet peeves. Is like I can't get over. I couldn't eat crayfish here very easily. No, it's not the same. There's
those
no way.
Those don't even look like what you're going to get here.
No,
like those look big and
they
happy
were beautiful,
and
tasty.
They lived a good life. And
they were fantastic.
Yeah. See. That's not what you're getting in middle landlocked Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's not happening here.
Even the mussels, too. Like, even Nicole was like, well, you got to show me how to eat these, too. I've never eaten these before. And so she's putting them on crackers. And I was like, I've never put it on cracker before because I don't eat oysters. Like, I can't handle the texture of an oyster. Oh, yeah. But I can handle the texture of a mussel. And she's just, like, looking at me like, what? Yeah. And I was like, no, you'll see. Absolutely.
There's a good oyster, but you don't like oysters, but there's a good oyster bar in Savannah.
I know there is, but okay, there's lots to talk about when it comes to this trip. But there used to be an oyster bar on River Street. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Oh.
I don't know if it still exists or not. The shrimp factory was right beside it. Yeah. Shrimp factory's still there. I couldn't find the oyster bar. That was my first goal on the first night was to go straight to the oyster bar. I walked all the way down there and was like, I swear it was right.
It was, yeah.
It was right here.
Couldn't
find it.
I'll have to hit up my Savannah friends. River Street, breaking ankles since since the time of conception.
Well,
let's see. Do you get some River Street pictures?
So the crazy thing to today is, oh, by the way, I forgot. Before we go any farther, the Crab Shack also has gators.
Gators.
They have a whole gator area. It's pretty cool.
Oh, look at them gators.
But so here's the point to today's conversation is it's almost like we're playing Jeopardy or playing like a game show where like you get to pick the box.
Okay.
Because I have so many different stories, I don't even know where to begin.
Well, let's start.
So you want to start with the downtown because you just brought it up, or?
Well, let's go with the Airbnb. Let's start with the beginning. You get there, you pull in, you park. This is where you're staying. What do you feel? How do you like it? Tell me. Oh, wow. So beautiful. It's so Savannah. Like that square. Like they love a square in Savannah.
That's not the square. That's my courtyard.
No, I know.
I know.
But everyone has a square, a courtyard.
Right outside of it,
Yeah.
yes. I was
Like-
on the edge of the square.
Yep.
I stayed exactly
you.
where I should have stayed.
These gate, like fence, like
The
all of
walls,
it.
yeah.
The walls are. This is so Savannah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, they love a good square.
So happy sitting there now. That picture is pouring down rain. We drove down through the rain, got stuck in the rain sitting there.
Oh.
So, you know, the first day was a little off. First night, a little rainy.
Mm-hmm.
The Friday morning was a lot of rain. We got soaked going to the coffee shop. I'll get to all that. But yeah, look at the stairways on the back.
Yep.
How cool is that?
Beautiful. So old Savannah, so spiral cases, iron rod, like I love it.
No other way to get up and down those for fire escapes. You know, look at that's the separation between the two buildings.
Yep.
They're 20 years apart.
Oh wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So
It's
we
so
stayed on this
pretty.
whole bottom floor down here, and you know, and then the courtyard was back there. It was perfect. This is the outside of our
Yep.
place. You know, there's a square right there. It doesn't show it on this one, but that's around the edge of
Oh, yeah.
Pulaski Square.
There's a yep.
So it worked out perfect because I was worried about where to stay in comparison to where I used to be and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I did pick perfect. I was 1 block back from the square I lived on for the first 3 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was really easy. Just had to walk across Liberty and boom, right by the convention center, the
Right
Civic
there.
Center, whatever that used to do a lot of stuff. Now there's a new convention center across the river, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh,
There's a
it's
few new things. Nothing crazy. It wasn't
super.
everybody.
It's probably super changed from when I was there because I left in '97.
I don't know if it really. It depends on where you go. Like, yes, there's a whole new wing on River Street that's added from the Hyatt on
No.
down to the bridge.
You can't add on to River Street.
Yeah, it's completely new, all down there, and it looks old and everything like that. They did a decent job. We didn't really walk through it. I found out after I got home that there is a hotel right there that has like dinosaur bones in it and all this really cool stuff, and we didn't know about it.
Yeah.
We didn't go in. Yeah, we definitely have to go back because of it.
Yeah.
But that was the newest thing that was added. Other than that, most of the places are still there.
Like the lady, the statue where she's like I can't remember. She's waving and the people like
Oh, I
she's
don't know
waiting
about
for
that.
her. Yeah, it's right there on River Street. Like she's
Sure. Well,
waving
let
in
me
the,
go to the downtown pictures and see if I caught that.
Yeah, let's see.
No, because this is the only. She's not.
There was a
right there.
little playground. Oh my god, yeah, that's River Street. I remember that whole area. Oh, you know what? I think I have pictures of me like right there in that background area, and like there's like a stair step area.
That's to the
Yeah,
that way.
Yep. See,
one of the
'cause
two ways. Yeah.
during St. Patrick's Day, you just left your children unattended at the low part, and we'd run back up to the parade
Yeah.
area and find our parents and be like, "Hey, we're here, we're okay." Then we'd run back down here, like you could have just snatched all the children back, in Savannah in the
Luckily, nobody
early
was thinking about
90s,
that.
80s. Yeah, like it was because like we were just feral, running
still-
free through this like little area.
I still question if people even think that way. Period. Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, as much as we all worry about the chance of someone grabbing your kid, how often is it really happening?
Listen, I grew up on that island. I was all over that island, unsupervised as a small child. I let my kids ride their bikes. I teach them. I'm like, someone stops you, start acting weird, make it real crazy, make it real uncomfortable for them, and just be a kid, be out there. Because that was one of my favorite parts of being a child, was out there doing that stuff.
So coincidentally, I took this right outside of the Boar's Head. That's still there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Nothing's really has changed.
When y'all see these pictures, like you'll see the street, like just breaking ankles left and right. Yeah. Just drunk, like. I don't feel. I mean, I didn't know Savannah's nightlife because I was a kid. I'm sure that we got like the woo girls like we do here. Down there. Girls. Oh yeah, the woo girls, like
Oh no, the bridesmaids parties. This is like this, like Nashville's number one. Savannah's so like number two.
So yeah, the girls.
We saw a few bridal showers. It was a lot of fun.
Just breaking ankles, just rolling ankles
with the heels and everything. Hell yeah, you're not walking with heels on that.
There's so many girls walking on these dirty, nasty cobblestone streets barefooted.
And even when I was walking, I was still like walking through trying to make sure that I was as even as I could.
I mean, that's legit right there. It's a 13th Colony Street if I've ever seen one.
And do you know why it's all cobblestone? Did we talk about this last time when we were talking about dancing? The reason why it's all cobblestone is because that was all the weights on the barges. So the barges would come in weighted to keep them down, drop off all the stone, pick up all the supplies, and then head back out. Oh. So they kept leaving all this cobblestone, so they built all the downtown as they were getting all these supplies coming in. That's how they built it.
There you go. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it adds such a... And I think if you're a local, you know how to navigate that stuff. You just sit back and you watch.
And if you remember, this is like the second level. So this is behind River Street and then in front of Bay Street.
Yes.
So it's like another level down. There's like 2 tiers going down. I love that little alleyway. It's almost like a creepy alley with all this stuff going on and all these bridges going across to some of the stores and everything.
Because that's where the parade is.
No, and the parade doesn't come through here.
No. But the parade's up there.
Yes.
So you're down here and then you go down to,
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. To the railroad, which the railroad still worked.
Oh, wow.
Like a trolley, I don't know, road. Yeah. It was pretty cool. And then,
see, so pretty.
Some of the courtyards near us.
I love it. Yep.
I love the perfect cut, the perfect shapes, the perfect wall. We went tarot card. She wanted to go ghost hunting. This is another whole conversation. So she found a store for jewelry and stones and all sorts of healing things. And so I found this whole wall of tarot cards. I've never seen that many different types of tarot cards.
That would be cool. I would need to take Will there because she has.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sets.
Like they're all different.
And you gotta let him speak to you apparently. Like she's
sure.
all about it.
Whatever.
He's like, oh, those are so cool.
I don't know what the hell this store was. But it creeped me out. I mean, I was like, what the hell? Same place. That's the other side of the entrance.
Yes.
I forgot to check what the store was. I was just like walking around,
Nightmare Fuel. Come down to Becky's Nightmare Fuel.
You mean what the?
You can buy.
And then there's good old Broughton Street. Yeah. So that's the center of everything where all the shops are. And, so I skipped City Market in between those walks, but I was taking pictures everywhere. So yeah, that's the downtown that I took pictures of. Next folder.
Let's see. SCAD. Let's look at SCAD.
SCAD? SCAD for $2.
SCAD for $2.
Okay, so the reason I put SCAD in here is one of my friends that I got to meet actually is head of the fine art department now, the chair of the fine art department, which was awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
One of my old professors was head of the department when I went there. So I got to see the current head and a retired head.
Oh, cool.
Which was pretty cool. That was awesome. So I asked him if I could take a tour of the new studios because these studios were just built when I finished. Mm-hmm. They tried to move us over there in the last couple months of where we were at. And I'll get to all that, like where my place was and stuff when I get to the squares. But because I lived like a block, not even a block, half a block. I could see from my window to my studio where my studio was. Like I could see it out my windows of my apartment. That's how close it was.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to move us to this new facility. And our old place was this big open warehouse with 10 by 10 walls built and not even a door. It was just an open doorway into your studio, completely open to everybody. Anybody could walk through there that was a student anytime they wanted to, kind of thing. Aww. Which was cool and weird, but we made a mess. The floors were nasty. They were all concrete. They were covered in paint. Like nobody cared whatsoever about the space.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they make this brand new facility and you're not allowed to make a mess anymore.
Oh.
And you have to keep your room, like all this kind of stuff. And we're like, no,
thank you.
Screw the system.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't tell us what to do. We're artists. You can't tell us what to do.
That's part of the artistry.
How dare you tell us how to run our studio? Like we want to make a mess.
We're going to make one.
So we would refuse to move. We're like, no, we're graduating here.
This is where we live. This is where we stay.
It was a little bit of a battle, but I ended up moving my studio to my apartment instead. I never moved into here for my last, because I spent a year, after I finished my classes, I spent a year preparing for my thesis. Mm-hmm. And so instead of going into that studio during that year, I went and just took it to my house and said, forget you guys, I'm on my own.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally, so this is the new studios, some big paintings of alumni, none of them are mine. It's a friend of mine, Troy's, I know, from back in the day. I almost remember back then for that. And then like the hallways are covered with all the kids that are in school right now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
These chairs are made by one of the students.
That's so cool.
Nicole said it was a pretty cool chair. It was actually comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
So
a little shade.
So it was just a cool little tour. I should have taken a lot more pictures. I didn't think about it. I met a couple of the students.
Oh, cool.
And one of them was I think she was a little bit older. I don't know. Like for a college student, for a grad student, like a couple years older than a normal grad student maybe. Like she'd waited a couple years to go back to grad school.
Yeah. And
she was cool. And one of the students was making all these little tiny tile-looking shapes on her pictures, and then painting stuff into them and stuff. It was kind of a cool idea. And I was like, some of the stuff I do on my floors, and she's like, what? So I showed her my floors, and she flipped out, and I was like, yeah, you can use that math, and you can do it to any scale you want to, and here's a whole industry that knows nothing about that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. It gave her a little connection. Mm-hmm. That was probably like,
Yeah, we talked for a little while. Her and the other girl in the room came over, and she's like, what? Listening in the background, and yeah, it was pretty cool. They because they're undergrads, so they don't have their own studio. Yeah. They're in one of the classrooms where they can work after, on the weekends and stuff like that. They still have access to it. So they were just in this big studio together doing their own thing, and I just walked in and checked it out and talked to them and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Had a blast.
Awesome. I love it. Love it. Oh, okay, so let's see. I will take squares for 500.
Squares for 250. Okay, so this is the square we lived on, or where we stayed at this time. So this is Pulaski Square.
Yeah.
And we stayed right there, so it was pretty cool. It was a nice square, nice little. It was probably the least special square of all of them. Just trees and nothing really magical to it. No
park bench that Tom Hanks sat on.
No, I'll get to that one. That is in here. This is Orleans Square, and so you can see. And I have a closer picture of this fountain. But so that was my studios right there.
Yep.
And my apartment was right there.
That's so awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, literally that close.
All that Spanish moss.
And I had a square in between, and I was telling Nicole as I was walking through there the one night, like the first night we kind of went around it, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember what we did. We might have went through it, but I didn't really soak it all in because we were in a hurry. I was hungry and I wanted to get to my destination. It was sprinkling, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the last night we were walking through by accident, and I was like, let me tell you a story about this square. And she's like, what? And I said, I kind of hung out here a lot. Aww. Because, and I'll show you a close-up picture. I don't think I have it in order where it comes up. Way down here, you need a reason
to music cracks me up.
And so I would sit at these benches and write and and stuff and do homework and sit on the side of the fountain at night, and it was kind of a nice little getaway. And I'd see tourists walking by and homeless hanging out. And
you were there for the famous transvestite lady.
Yeah, I was. Oh. Lady Chablis.
Lady Chablis.
Totally was there for that. Yeah. I was there for the filming of Midnight in the Garden. Couldn't even.
Oh, okay.
I ran into John Cusack and thought I ran into myself. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Well, we will get to that.
Okay, because
that is on the list.
Clint Eastwood on the beach.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
He was jogging on the beach. I was like, Clint Eastwood just jogged past me, y'all.
So that's a cool square. I forget which one that is. I just thought that was a cool picture. This is the Bull Street. No, It's off of Hall. What is that road? It's not Barnard, because I was on Barnard. Yeah, sure. It's one over. It might be Bull Street. It might be. It's not the Forrest Gump Square. It's the one. It's one over from there. And I was talking to Deepak and Chethan when we won Tri-Cups while I was standing right there.
You're standing right there.
And I'm pacing around. We went to a haunted house right before this. While they were texting me and stuff like that, while I was texting with the team, I'm walking through this haunted house. And then we met this girl while we were there that we thought was kind of cool. So we're like, hey, you're by yourself in Savannah. You want to hang out for a little bit? Like, let's go to this bar. Yeah. And then the bar was too loud, so we just came to the square. And I was like, I got to make a phone call anyway. So let's take our beers, go to the square. And I'll just go back in and get more beer if we wanted. Yeah. And then I called the team and was like, congrats. And so we're talking, and I was like, guys, I just got to say, I don't think you realize the moment I'm in right now while I'm talking to you guys. And so I took this picture and sent it to the two of them. And was like, this is what I'm doing while I'm talking to you. I'm standing in this square by myself. There's the three of us. We're the only three in the entire square. Yeah. It was pretty awesome. I mean, you can't do that anywhere else in the world. No. That is one of the greatest things about this place and how unique it is.
I love it. Oh, it's so beautiful.
That's Forrest Gump Square, I believe. I can tell you. Yeah. So this is Forrest Gump Square. And that was outside of one of them. That was pretty cool with all the sculptures. So this is where Forrest Gump sits, but he sits on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's sitting at a park bench right there, but there's no park bench right there.
Right. But don't they have the park bench there with the
There's no
the
park
plaque?
bench. There is no park bench.
I thought there was.
No, there is nothing. That was all CGI or whatever. Like that was all fixed into the atmosphere. But they were filming this from the background. That's what you see in the back.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And on top of that too, I think when they say toward the end of it, oh, that's just 2 blocks that way. Mm-hmm. It's actually that way.
Yeah.
And he goes the opposite direction, but no one would ever know unless you were living there.
No, yep. So awesome. I love it. I love it so much. I remember that was filmed there, obviously. And transgender, the famous transgender lady, not transvestite. I was watching Rocky Horror with my daughter last night, and still have that sexy transvestite in my head. So sorry about that. I do apologize. I know that was problematic, but that was filmed. All right, Forrest Gump, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. It was like Now and Then or something like that. It was like a
Forces of Nature.
Forces of Nature.
General's Daughter.
God, there are a lot. It was just
while I was there, all of those were filmed. Oh, wow. And so back to your same point. Then let's just go to my favorite places for 500.
500, yes.
Because we will get to the place that I have a story about. Good old John Cusack.
Oh yeah, John. My story about Clint Eastwood is literally he just jogged past me. It's like
no, I've got an epic one. So. This used to be a place called the Paper Moon. I lived diagonal from it. Mm-hmm. That house I showed, or the edge of the picture before. I literally walked over there every day, and as a poor artist, they would have like fairly cheap appetizers and stuff that you could survive off of. Like it was like a black bean dip in bread, no doubt. Like that's what I lived off of half the time, and because it was only like $4. Yeah. And it was worth it, and they always got annoyed because we'd go in there and buy like the littlest thing of water. But it was like we had no money. It was supposed to go to beer when we went out all the time.
Starving college kids. What can I say?
But now it's nothing like that. It's like a psychiatry or what was it? I forget, but it's like a health awareness place or something like that now.
Cora, I think that might be like a blood transfusion. No? Okay.
This is where I used to go dancing all the time on the right side.
So
the right place is not like that now. The left place was a dance bar, so we would go between the two. Barely ever went there. Mm-hmm. Didn't really care about that one as much. But this one right here, unless it was like too crowded, like we would split between these depending on how crowded. Sometimes it was without the line out of it, so we wouldn't go dancing there because it's more like dance music and house music and stuff like that kind of dancing. Yeah. Over here is what I told you about on the other one where we talked about ballroom dancing, where I'd go ballroom dancing all the time. Mm-hmm. Or swing music, that was my swing place. Yeah. We go up there this time and it's like all like horrible house music.
Yeah.
Like the worst of all time house music. And we're like, I don't want to go in there.
Oh, no.
We asked the guys at the door, like, we just want to take a peek for a second, but we don't really, we didn't even walk in.
Yeah.
It didn't look the same at all. They had added a stage, which I knew they were adding when I was leaving.
Yeah.
But I never went back again. So it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's not the same. It was terrible. They did have arcade games in there still. We found a picture of us dancing in that room, and the arcade machines were in the background. But yeah, we didn't go in. Didn't even go in.
Didn't do it.
Not all three of them. Just ignored all three of them. Walked by them, took this picture. Here's a good story. I watched a street fight right here between a guy and a girl.
Oh, no.
I'm not kidding whatsoever. Whole area around us in the middle of this intersection where that black car, the SUV is in the middle, there. There was a car here that they pulled him down on top of so she could beat his brains out.
Oh, my God. Oh, good.
And then he dropped to the ground and still got back up. And they were just so drunk that they were not going to stop. And she was a hefty woman, like not fat, but I mean like a husky woman. And so she was giving it to him. We were all cheering her on. And even this one dude, like literally, I'm not kidding, right in that spot right there was a military guy. Because there's two military bases right here. Yeah. So we had a lot of military in the area. The military guy walked up to him and was like, dude, you don't want to do this. So then he started fighting with him. And he's like, dude, I'll drop you. So he did a roundhouse kick. Spun around, hit him in the head, knocked him down.
Oh my gosh.
And we're all like, okay, this is done. And he gets back up.
Yep.
Until the cops finally came and arrested him, he would not stop.
Yeah.
It was insane. I've never seen anything like it right there. I just realized that. I didn't even tell Nicole that story. Right there.
Live and in person. Just walked in the fight. That was like Savannah too.
And then this is off of City Market. And it used to be the pool hall that we played in every Tuesday and Thursday that I told you about.
Yeah.
And the pool hall is still there. It's a different name. I couldn't believe the pool tables were still there, except for they were this way.
And now they're
so you didn't have all that extra room. There was like 4 or 5 tables down that wall.
Yeah.
And they were tight, but there was a lot of tables right there. And then there's 2 tables over this way.
Oh.
So none of that really changed, except for there's only 2 tables now. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still 4. They still could do like league night if they wanted to and stuff. I don't know. I went down there and just kind of hung out for a second.
Yeah.
And was going to go back at the end to play pool, but decided that I was finally getting tired and wanted to just go chill at a place.
Yeah.
This is the Great McDonough's. It's such a shithole.
Yeah.
This is where we went to karaoke all the time, and I had to put up with all of that. That's why I refused. This is the reason why I refused to do karaoke, is because I had to put up with such bad karaoke for so long, for 7 years.
7, yeah.
When I walked into this bar, I would sit in the corner in the far back over here half the time to stay away from everybody else, and I would sit there with my notebook and I would write poetry, and I would sit at the bar and talk to a random person and start writing, and they'd be like, "So what are you writing about? Are you writing down everything I said? I'm not writing about you at all." Like, shut the fuck up.
Like, leave me alone.
I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
And it was all the time people thought, like, if they'd say something and I'd go like this, they'd be like, "Oh, you like that?" No, that's not what I'm actually trying to ignore you, sir.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at all. All the time. And the place is terrible. I don't know why I went there so much. Other than it was like a block away from me, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, even when I moved out farther out, we'll get to all my houses. When I lived farther out, I still came back here all the time.
Still went right there.
But one of my best friends was the bartender. His name was Jag. And if he saw me walked in, he would already order my food, pour the drink, be sitting at the spot wherever he would find a room for me, and he'd be like, "Over, here's a spot," or something. Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Because I was such a hard one to figure out when it came to food back then.
Yes, I was back then, so it's been this way forever?
Oh, I was worse then.
Well.
It's shortly after that my buddy Don started to get me to open up to other places.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's Dee's goal.
Yeah, well, I'm doing pretty...
You did great, yes. I do. Let credit given where credit's due.
So this is Pinky Masters, and I didn't put a picture of the outside of it in. I don't know why. I guess I have it in the wrong spot. But this is Pinky Masters. So this is where I ran into John Cusack, where I saw a few famous people. This was where they'd come to hang out too. This is where all of us college students hung out.
Yeah.
But we're like mostly grad students and stuff like that. Like nowadays it was all an older crowd.
Yeah.
It's completely different. But I don't know if it was like because they've been hanging out.
Maybe it aged with them. You know?
Yeah,
like
it could have. It looks the same, acts the same. Other than that, it was pretty cool. The music was really absurd, which made me feel good being there because it was always weird.
Yeah.
You know, you would always like one up each other and do the most absurd. So one night I was walking away, and I'll show you. I've got. Hold on, let me find the picture because it's worth the conversation. Where did I put it? There it is. It is in the same. Just I didn't put it in the right order. So that's the outside of the place. So right there, on the other side of this little gate picture, right there, I ran into John Cusack. And I don't mean like walked up to him. I mean into John Cusack.
There you go.
I was so drunk
I love it.
that I had to leave. Like it was at that point where I was like, I got to get out of here now or I won't make it.
Yeah.
You know, before you get to that blackout stage, like I got to go now. And I walked out of there and turned around the corner, walked right into him. And we had been making jokes for years how I looked just like him, how I'd be a perfect double for him and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I walked right into him and I was like, sorry, sir. And I walked a couple more feet and was like, did I just walk into myself? It's really weird.
There's a glitch in this.
It was really awkward for me. And but I was so not in a good place right there that I just kept going. Like I was like, I can't go back and talk to him right now.
Right.
There's no way. I'll make a fool of myself. I'm hammered.
Hey, you're me. I'm
Yeah.
you.
It's like, I'm just going to keep walking.
That's probably a good call. Even though guys, my brain, I'm sorry, it's so fried right now. I don't know what's going on. I can't put words together. But you did make John Cusack lost out on a great story. Because, you know, he would have been like telling everyone out in Hollywood.
That he walked into a doppelganger?
And be like, this dude was like straight. He might have been for the future. He might have been me. I don't know, man. Like,
who knows if he paid attention or not? He may not even have looked at me.
No, I mean, but if you went back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you know, if we had social media or we had phone cameras back then, I would have gone back and like, look, dude, I got to get a picture with you.
I got to get a picture of myself.
I'm telling you.
It's something weird. So forever he'd be like, just kind of confused. He lost out on that experience because he wouldn't go back. Because
I think he would have appreciated it. I think he would have got a kick out of it too.
I think he would have too, yeah.
But I couldn't comprehend the moment.
He's a good weirdo.
I was so bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
So this is Gallery Espresso. Best coffee shop I've ever gone to.
All right, Gallery.
Shout out to Gallery Espresso. I love this coffee shop. It has not changed. It is beautiful. And it's eclectic, and the coffee was fantastic. I mean, I remember why I went there all the time. I don't even drink coffee, you know, and I still went there all the time. I went there every single morning pretty much the whole time I was there because I just had to like be a part of this atmosphere.
Yeah.
And we laugh about how when we're in Nashville, everywhere you go, everybody's talking about music and songwriting. This is where I went and talked about art. This is where I went and played chess.
Yeah.
You know, this was my hangout all the time to see all those kind of things and experience that. And, you know, that was before they even started making cool top, you know, pours. They started doing that back then and all that kind of stuff. So it was great. The owner was there, so I said hi to her. She didn't remember me. It's okay. Her daughter is a good friend of mine still on Facebook, but she runs another location. Yeah. So I didn't get to see her.
Aw.
Yeah, I was hoping, but I saw the mom and was like, you know, tell Jessica I said hi. And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Like, listen, I know you. It's okay.
Yeah. Like, trust me, it's just been 20 years. Sorry.
Yeah, it's been a while, so.
Yeah. She's like, I don't care. No, she wasn't that bad. She was cool.
Good.
It was a good conversation. So,
it's always fun when you remind them.
And then I found the Crystal Beer Parlor. I'd forgotten all about this place, totally. Right after I got there. So I got there, pulled in, checked into the place, and was like, okay, I got to go get beer, got to go get supplies for the. So I after she gets into the place and we put everything in there, I go and I jump in my car, turn left 2 blocks, and I go right by that, and I'm like, ooh.
Wait a minute.
I remember this place. I know I went there. I couldn't remember why, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like determined to figure that out. So we went there, and It was really cool. It was because they had so many beers on tap is why I liked going there.
Yeah.
It took me a second to figure out because the food is just sandwiches. And I mean good sandwiches. Everything was great. Cool atmosphere, unique, old school style kind of stuff, atmosphere, and it was a lot of fun. But it was because of the beer list is what it was. That's what I remembered. All the beer choices and taking my parents there and showing them my knowledge of beer and like they really cared. But it was exciting because I was paying attention to my parents and stuff like that, so they loved it.
No, that's awesome.
I know that's why I went there because it was like lunchtime or cheaper for a sandwich. It wasn't like a big dinner, and that's what we went there for because Nicole was like, okay, you spent money the first night on a fancy dinner. We don't need to do that every night. And I was like, okay, well, let's check out this place. And it was perfect for us. Best deviled crab probably in the city.
Oh.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
We both had it. It was great. Loved it. I'm a different person in Savannah. I would never eat that here.
Yeah, we gotta go.
The good old Marshall House hasn't changed at all. Still looks like it's from New Orleans.
Yep.
Because that's the center of attention when it comes to the parade. For the St. Patrick's Day parade, like that's the most important place to be. That's the most expensive place to hang out. So you have that second floor and you can throw stuff down. The biggest thing.
If anyone, for people who don't know, Savannah has the second largest St. Patrick's Day parade to New York City.
No.
Have they surpassed New York?
You are completely off.
Okay.
First of all, it was competing against Chicago.
Chicago?
Not New York.
Okay.
And it has teetered back and forth between first and second with Chicago.
Okay, sorry, I do apologize. But
because we were proud of that.
When we were there, I think the Irish population was like, 7%. And when we moved, it dropped. There's no, it's not Irish. I don't know. Do you know the history of why they are so obsessed with St. Patrick's Day?
It's a big party. I don't understand it at all.
When I moved to Tennessee,
it's just a reason to party.
Yeah, it's huge. It's it's. I mean, you prepare for it. Like you know that this is coming in January, in December. Like you put down the Christmas tree, you're bringing out your shamrocks.
Yeah.
So when I moved to Tennessee, and March was coming up, and I was like, "All right, y'all, we get the 17th off. What are we gonna do? Where's the parade?" And everyone's like, "What? We get this? Why would we get the 17th off?" I was like, "It's St. Patrick's Day. Like, what body of water are we dyeing green? Like, come on, come on, people." They're like, "No."
All the fountains used to be green. The river used to be green.
They would attempt that poor river every year. Maybe they've perfected it by the time
they stopped
left,
doing it.
But it would never turn green. But they tried.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember moving here being like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, we don't get the day off for school for I thought that St. Patrick's Day was a way bigger deal than apparently it is all over everywhere else. So.
Nope, only there.
Yeah.
Chicago wouldn't even get it off. It's just such a big city that's why it's such a big parade.
Big parade. And brain, it's turned off. Sorry.
If you remember too, if you walk down to River Street, if you're walking down there, you have the Hyatt Regency, and that was the hotel where you could walk underneath on River Street, and the train could go through there.
Yep.
You go left and you go through that, and around the other side of that used to be an Irish pub. It's not there anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there was some place on River Street that my dad would take us. It was some pub, some kind of old shipwrecky thing. And we'd they had the best Reuben, but I couldn't tell you the name to save my life.
Yeah, there was a few of those kind of places, but this was full out 100% Irish.
And it's
the music was too authentic locals.
You think that it would stay around? That's the area for it because of St. Patrick's Day.
I was wondering that too. I was kind of shocked that it was gone.
Yeah.
This is the Moon River Brewery.
Moon River.
So I almost wore the shirt that I got for this because it was the 25th anniversary of this place.
Oh, wow.
I've been gone for 20 years.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I was there from day one.
Yeah.
I remember when it was built. I remember when it was opened.
Yeah.
I got to know the owner right then and there. And here's all the taps on the outside. There's a whole outside section now, too.
That's so cool.
But this is I used to run the gallery.
Oh, wow.
I used to have my artwork in there all the time.
Yeah.
I had storage upstairs. So I'd go up into the guy's office. It was a big giant room up there, and he had an office up there, and I would have all my paintings stored up there or the next round or other people's paintings that haven't picked them up yet. And it was an awesome time.
Yeah.
Right there on Bay Street.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So there's the stairway. I'd walk up and store everything nice and wide, easy for me to carry big paintings up and stuff like that. And so I had all of this decked out with paintings all the time or with some kind of art. My buddy was the Jag, the guy that was the bartender at McDonough's, started a gallery, an online gallery kind of idea. It was called Gallery Bite, and we were kind of business partners.
But
you know, but he did all the business side, and I brought all the artists in and stuff like that. And we negotiated. We went to New York together to talk to galleries to try to represent our artists and stuff like that.
That's cool.
All started here.
All started at Moon River.
At the Moon River Brewery. So that was pretty good. I don't remember this place. I swear it's got to be the same. It's Italian. I had to have gone there. I know it looks familiar. I know I took my parents there, but I don't remember. I meant to take some of these things out, but this is Vinnie Van Gogo's best pizza in the world.
Yes.
Without a question.
No doubt.
Best. It has not changed at all.
I love it.
Not a tiny bit. This is the edge of City Market. This is the center of so much business.
God,
And these guys are slammed all the time. This line right here we're standing in is to order to go.
I know, it's so busy.
We're standing there, and I looked at Nicole. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I walked up, and the lady at the host thing was like, "What do you want?" I was like, I'm just gonna go look for something over there for a friend of mine. Okay. So I walk through, and I go to use the restroom, and I walk in, and the bar's completely empty.
Oh.
Everybody's outside.
Try to go.
So I texted Nicole, and I'm like, hey, just walk in.
Just come in.
Just walk in and sit at the bar. I'll be right back.
I went to Calvary Baptist in 8th grade, and my friend Laura, I won't give a last name because I don't want to throw anyone under a bus or get anybody in trouble, 30 years later. We would skip school and take the bus down to the City Market area and just roam around and get into all sorts of
Most of it still has barely changed. A lot of the old restaurants were still there.
Oh.
A couple of things have changed. Paula Dean's Lady and Sons is still there, but in the main attraction now that since Mrs. Wilkes had died, that's still there. I didn't realize it was called Lady and Sons because everywhere else is Paula Dean's Kitchen. Mm-hmm. But the original place is called Lady and Sons, and that's still there.
Okay.
So it was cool to see.
See, I think that was coming as we were leaving.
Her kitchen that she was using for the videos back then is right upstairs in that building, stuff like that. So.
Or she was getting popular when we were leaving or something.
It was she was just getting popular right when, probably right when you left, a little after that.
Because it was
she was still just a tiny little place, but it was literally when Mrs. Wilkes died, within 6 months, all of a sudden it was Paula Dean's town.
Okay. Yeah, because the Black Labs and the docks off of Wilmington Island and Savannah, and I was like, where's all this coming from? I've never heard of this woman and I lived there. And so, yeah.
And you can see, that plate is a normal sized plate, so that slice of pizza is this freaking big.
It's a mamma jamma.
It's massive.
Is this your pizza?
Yeah.
Are you eating pineapple on pizza?
Heck yeah.
You are an enigma wrapped in a riddle.
What is wrong with pineapple on pizza?
I personally love pineapple on pizza, but that is not what I think. You would be like, oh, you're the purist. Purists do not do pineapple.
I disagree. I think it's the exact opposite. I think that's exactly why I'm the purist, because of all things, you should have pineapple on pizza.
No, that's ask any person that's into pizza. They will be like, oh, blasphemy.
I know, that's why I said that. That's why I'm different. That's why I'm the purist.
No, but
I'm extreme.
That's the exact opposite of the purist. The purist needs to have only pepperoni. I faux pas earlier. I'm not faux pasing over this. Any toppings can go on all pizzas. I believe that's.
Well, I disagree on that part. Just the ham and pineapple. It has to be ham. It can't be just pineapple.
Any toppings. There's a place up in South Dakota that has sauerkraut.
You're gross.
Oh, sorry.
You lost me. You lost me at sour.
I know. I was like, sauerkraut pizza. It was the best pizza.
So this was cool too. That there's an obey sticker.
Yeah.
And I know when that was put there.
You're like, I put that there.
I tried to explain that to the bartender.
Yeah. Who's
probably no more than 22, and she's like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that thing? Yeah. Okay." I'm pretty sure that was 1997, and she was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
In her eyes, she's like, "I wasn't even born yet."
Yeah, I was going to say, she's like, "I was like a baby."
But that's been there for a really long time because Shepard Fairey came to Savannah and did a show. I still have my sticker downstairs on my desk. And it's iconic to me because I remember when you would be driving down the road and all of a sudden you'd see the sticker that says Obey on it with Andre the Giant on it. And you're like, what is going on? What? And you go to another intersection and you see it way up, in a place where you're like, how did they get up there and put it there? It was this weird way for him to underground advertise that he was coming to town. And he would ship them out there and he would find somehow, without the internet, without all these capabilities that we have today, he was finding ways through the network he made underground of people that would be interested in helping him out. And he would ship these stickers to them and teach them how to paste them onto the walls.
Yeah.
And they'd leave them all over the place. So the question is, did they put it there or did he do that while he was there?
Well, yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
You know?
We'll never know.
Did they buy it from the show and put it in and stuff like that? Like, there's so many questions I have, but the people there don't give a shit. Didn't understand what I was talking about. But I was there at that moment. Before so Shepherd was Shepherd Ferry that he is today.
Yeah.
Before Obey t-shirt line ever started. So, not to make me feel too old or anything, but there you go.
There it is.
Got a, sixpence, nice English pub right there, really good food. I can always remember that. Forgot that was still there. That was pretty cool. Forsyth Park.
Forsyth, yeah.
And they were having a huge volleyball tournament. The whole left side was all volleyball nets.
Oh.
So a huge tournament was going on, which was awesome outside. It was pretty fun to watch. The beauty of all the chiggers dropping on you.
He obviously didn't grow up as a child and take that Spanish moss off trees and dress your body in it and come home and be like, I got chiggers all over me.
So the thing is I'm standing on top of that stage. If you remember the big stage that was like in the big white building.
Yep.
On the other side of the white building is now a restaurant. It was all like condemned or just shut off for the city or something or storage.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It is now this full out breakfast brunch.
Pretty little place.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was packed beyond belief because it was Saturday. It was bad, but it was a lot of fun. It was cool to be there.
How was the weather?
The weather was almost perfect. It was a little chilly because of the rain.
Yeah.
But as soon as the rain stopped, it really picked up, and then Saturday was amazing. Sunday was amazing. Sunday was the best day when it came to the beauty.
Good. Well, all right. So do you have a Tybee folder? Yes, I see it. Okay.
Tybee for $7.50.
Tybee for $7.50. I should have told you to go down my street, but it's they tore down my house, so
Yeah.
So there. I lived on 16 Laurel Avenue.
It's as exciting of a beach as beaches get.
Yeah, there's a beach.
Nothing special about it. The pier is still there. I forgot about that. I was there when that was built.
I was there when that was built.
I think it was like right when I first got there. It was new.
Yeah. So
that was the only place to go to a restroom.
Because the majority of my life on Tybee, there was no pier.
Yeah.
And then when I got to 7th grade and I was cool, the pier came and we could go hang out on it. And, it was
well, and I was talking to somebody at, I forget where I was at for lunch, or talking to some random person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you might have been there before the pier or something like that." And I was like, "I don't remember." And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, I remember that."
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was there before the pier. All we had was
the funny thing about that too is I used to always go to the very end of Tybee. Mm-hmm. And I remembered, I knew ahead of time, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, because I knew that I was going to stop right here. And I did it again. I fell for it again because that's where all the tourism is.
The Second Avenue.
Stop there.
I think that's what it's
probably.
Yeah.
And it's busy as hell right there, and there's all these shops. We're like, oh, we got to stop here. We got to shop. We got to do all our stuff. And then as soon as I walked up, I was like, yep, I need to be down another half mile.
So, as a kid, because, everything that you're showing me in Savannah, some of it's, flashbulb memories. And I'm like, I do, River Street, I spent a lot of time at River Street, but, some of the other, I didn't do much. But Tybee, I mean, that's where I lived. I couldn't, I couldn't drive, so this is my experience in Savannah. And, we never, we just knew. Second Avenue, that's where everyone that doesn't live here goes. And that's how you knew that you were going to be okay, because you were going to sit here on these back beaches and run around the parks
all the time.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, when skinny dipping on those back beaches, not this beach.
Yeah, you would never find yourself. When the pier was built, we went for novelty, and it was fun, and it was like that. But I'm sure if I had stayed, that pier would become nothing to me again.
Yeah, right away.
It was being on that side of the island was you just didn't go there. That's where everyone else went.
And I had flashbacks right away because we were walking back. I had to go to the bathroom, and she started to walk back toward this walkway, and I was like, "No, I'm going that way." Mm-hmm. And right away, I knew right away to walk under that, walk through. There's a stairway, walk up the stairway, and there's a bathroom. I knew exactly what to do.
When you're driving down in that big kind of sharp curve that takes you. Yeah. I used to walk that. That's
sure.
Lived.
It's funny you say that. There is.
The Sugar Shack was there.
Yes. I took a picture
Sugar
of it.
Shack.
Right there.
We would call it.
Because I didn't remember all the crazy. Was that all like this?
No.
See, that's what I thought too.
It was a little crappy pink building, and we would
Now
call
look
it the
at it.
shit shack. Like, because we
Now
were
look
kids.
at it.
Yeah,
I know.
that's not
I
what
thought
it
the
looked like at
same
all.
thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, wait, that's not
That
the
is
sugar
not
shack.
the sugar shack at all. It was a pink, like, little
I remember
shack.
that. Yeah, this wasn't the building or anything.
And we were kids, and we were like, I said shit shack, and we were like, we said the bad word, and yeah. No one ever went there, like, either. Like, if you went there, that was like a touristy thing, you know?
That's so funny, because that's why I took that picture.
That is not what it looked like. The Ron John,
awesome.
There was the Ron John surf shop. Like,
yeah,
as
those
you're
are still there.
getting into, like, going to that big curve,
yeah.
you know, we'd go there a little, like, but that is as far as we'd go, and then, like, everything else was, like, touristy. But Ron John was built, and we were kind of like, oh, interesting. Oh, it's cold.
Yeah, the water was freezing. I don't know how these crazy people were all in the water.
The locals.
It was freezing.
Don't think
Yeah, that was ridiculous. So then she thinks she's going to find some creepy crawly animals, and I'm like, no, they don't come this far. Like, but so I had to take a picture of her trying to take pictures of the shells and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. There's the inside of the, hasn't changed a bit.
Not a bit. There's a photo booth.
And then we finished the afternoon at this bar, and it's so funny. First of all, you notice we're sitting in normal sized chairs at the bar. Mm-hmm. It goes down on the inside 2 steps.
Okay.
So the bartender not only was she short.
Oh, but she's lower than you. Yeah.
So she's at the normal height if you're at a bar.
Yeah.
But she's lower than you, and you're like sitting there going, "This doesn't make any sense. This is
like
weird."
I'm looking down on you.
You know, I'm not sitting like the bar we're sitting at right now. It's not even this high. It's lower than this.
Yeah.
Because we're already too high. So it was really weird. It was funny as hell. But at this point, what was funny was I had been sitting there waiting for her to finish up shopping. Mm-hmm. And so she came in, and I was just finishing my margarita, and I had to drive back, so I didn't want to get carried away. Mm-hmm. She ordered another one, and we're sitting there, and I was like, okay, so let's go. And she's like, can we just sit? Aww. And I was like, I guess so. I couldn't get myself to just chill.
Oh, man.
It took me a while. She forced it upon me, and I finally did.
Yeah.
So this is Nikki's.
Oh, Nikki's.
That's where that comes from. So this is
1971.
the place on Tybee that we found to just chill for a second and relax from such a crazy. At this point, it is Sunday afternoon. We've been on a whirlwind tour
of Savannah,
and this is the first time we finally just sat down and didn't go, okay, we gotta go.
Yep.
And because she finally forced it upon me, because I was just nonstop.
I wish I could, like, I should have told you the middle school I went to was Leroy Myers Middle School, and then somewhere in the middle of Savannah, and then the high school was Johnson High School, the Atom Smashers. Did you ever see the high school? Like, I thought that was a really cool mascot, that they had a hand, disembodied hand holding a hammer and an atom.
I don't remember.
And that was the Atom Smashers.
Yeah, no, because I was too old to care about high schools or any schools.
I know, but their bands and stuff like that there, it's just like, it's so cultural, so awesome.
Never paid attention to it.
There's the fruit salad.
So the funny thing to the story of, like, I couldn't resist this was I saw a guy walking down on, like, Broughton with this shirt on, and I was looking at him going, you were at Tybee.
Yeah.
I think I need to get myself a banana shirt. Like, I told that to Nicole. I was like, I think that's the perfect shirt. It's a great joke because I'm allergic to bananas. So I have to wear a banana shirt.
Yes.
So I got one for my dad and my son and I.
I saw the picture. It was great.
Yeah, we all match now. And then you saw the ones that Nicole showed you, so we can make a fruit salad now.
So Nicole and Rose are going to wear the same? And
yes.
You and that's awesome. I love it. Love it.
Pretty crazy.
I love it. Oh, so it was a good time.
Oh, I found 3 faces. I wasn't watching that much, but I noticed. I was walking along, and I just stopped, and Nicole's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'll be right there.
Gotta find the
But I found faces in the walls.
There you go.
That freak you out.
Disembodied, yeah.
What the heck?
Just
Don't know why. And then this one's on Tybee. And you can see that they did something to put it in there. It's really weird how they did it. Because they had to cut out the brick.
It's beside it.
There must have been a repair there or a vent or something that they filled on purpose.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
I love it. Oh, disembodied head. That's our thing. He stayed in a hotel room once. It was just there. She was just hanging out.
Nicole totally didn't get the joke. So I've got my brand new Tybee Island koozie that actually has a bottle opener. I've never seen that before. Thought that was pretty funny. I got my Tybee Island shot glasses.
Oh, I can't wait to
dolphins.
take a shot out of those with you.
Someday. And there wasn't a lot of other stuff too, but